this is going to be short and sweet. It's going to answer one question: what happened today and what's going to happen next with the indexes. Now, at the end of this, I'm going to run the three major indexes that we look at in the newsletter, which are the SPY, the S&P 500, the Qs for the NASDAQ, IWM for the Russell. At the end of it, I'm getting a lot of messages about Bitcoin, and I'm going to give you my 2 cents on it, just technically. We don't have to get into everything, but just technically, we're going to talk about it very quickly. And this is going to be 5-6 minutes, but we're going to hammer home some key points. As always, subscribe to this channel, put on your notifications. This is really timely, especially for how we can open tomorrow. When we sold off today, we had reversals. And I'm just going to start with this, and we're going to do the Russell first, and just ignore this. I have to change it for the newsletter later. And I'm just running out a little bit of time crunch here, but let's just get to it. So see this bar? See how we encapsulated this? See how we broke out of the channel and then we couldn't get any higher than that? This was a classic top right here, just classic. See how you can't even get above that other bar, not even a tick. And then what do? You encapsulate the next bar and you go all the way to the lower end of the channel. Now, right now, let me turn that off for a moment. On the close, we're at 218.18, right on support, right on the lower day. We have a bearish engulfing here. This is not great. The last bearish engulfing we had was up here, and that terminated the high right on the top of the channel. Not great stuff. And what you're seeing is that this is very tough, and as we talked about this, we're going to go through a bottoming process, but that we're just not there yet. So what does this mean? Let's throw in this pre and post data. You can see we're actually, after hours, starting to trade the indexes below this level. Now, whether or not we open there, I really don't know. But we have to take a look at that and take into an account. Out of all the indexes, this is acting the best, which means it'll be the last to fall. That's just how it works. So you're cutting down here. We haven't even gotten to the 50-day yet. And if we break this level, you're really heading to this 50-day. So just keep that in mind. And this is not a bad thing. It'll present buying opportunities for us, and we'll have a lot of buying opportunities when this is done. I don't think the bull market's over. You correct during bull markets. It's not a bad thing. It's no different than what transpired, back here in September on the Qs. It's absolutely no different whatsoever. So, and there's a tremendous amount of money to be made in here. But let's just keep going to these levels. So let's get rid of the indicators for a moment and let me just show you a couple things. I'm going to get rid of this segment line so I can confuse you even less. So the Qs, this is your major trend on the Qs. This is it. This trajectory is the same as this trajectory. They have to be the same. Okay, I've been talking about this all day on Twitter, and if you don't follow me on Twitter, I would suggest that you do, because I give very timely alerts. I mean, we called the top and the bottom on this today, and the timestamps are there. So, but what's going on here is we went right to the top of this off the open, right to the top of this channel, this falling wedge, and we couldn't get over resistance. And we didn't make a higher high, did we? Didn't even come close to it, right? Shows you the weakness of this compared to the IWM. Now we're here, this 312.83, and it looks like we're holding that 312.50. I mentioned in the newsletter that was a key issue we had to watch. I don't want that, I want this. Okay, so now you can see we are below the 50-day. When was the last time we closed below the 50-day? Back here. How'd that go for us? Not so good. We sold down. Where did we close again? Below the 50-day. Right here. How'd that go? We had a little chop and then we went higher, but we didn't make a new high. So this is telling you we're going to go through a period of consolidation, rebuilding, and bottoming. Does not mean we've bottomed. We have not had that level of capitulation yet. Now let's throw in the pre and post data that moves with the futures. Huge spike in volume, and we are below this line. This is where we're going. We're going to 304.02 if this breaks. If 304.02 breaks, you're going to 297.46. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he's more exact than I am, and he's like, oh, it's 298. But you get the idea. And you can figure out by the extrapolation, you move 3% today on this index. So if I'm here and I move another 3-4%, you saw what happened to your stocks today, you can imagine what's going to happen to them if this happens. So just think like that. Plan ahead, honor your stops. Drops are good. You get to buy them back even cheaper. It's a good thing. So, start thinking like that. You'll have massive setups, and we can do quite well with them. So let's go to the SPY. Again, you really don't have that. You have a reversal, but you come right to the 50 and you bounce. And your pre-date is, or your pre and your post-date is in, and we're sitting right here. So this looks okay. But if this breaks, this 378.46, if we break here and we break the 50, you're going to 371.05. These are your key levels, and they will affect your stocks. Now, I'm running a little over here, but let's just, I said to a bunch of people that I would do this. Let's just go through Bitcoin very, very clearly here, okay? This is in a major uptrend, okay? There's no doubt that this is in a major uptrend, okay? And we always have to duplicate these lines, okay? So this line should be duplicated to here. Hold on 1 second. I don't like that line. Remove all of them. There we go. And let's do this very quickly. And you clone the line so they have the same trajectory. Let's say you didn't know where your channel is. So, okay. So what you're seeing is you're still in this massive uptrend here, okay? And this could be a little tighter, but we're going to leave it for now. This 5 and 8 day are crossing. We went through this before in another video that you can look up. When you cross like that, it is short-term bearish. You've done it here, and you saw what happened. You went from 46 to 30. It's doing it here. You can see the same thing is going to happen. We're going to come in, go to wherever really this lower channel should be. And the hope is that you don't get to the 50-day, but realistically, you're probably coming to the 50-day. It would be nothing for this thing to test itself right here and maybe see some institutional sponsorship. I mean, that's where they'd feel safe buying it. But we are rolling, and this break of this 48 level was not good. And here's another break to show you that was not good. And so you have a little channel here, right? And I always walk people through these in the newsletter. You couldn't get above this channel. You couldn't stay above this, right? So let's get rid of this to not confuse you, but here's a channel. You couldn't get above it. And then if you want to really get technical, this is the closing price, which is what we use. So that's why we're here. We're at the closing price. So here's your all-time high closing price. Look what happened when we got over that closing price. You couldn't get over it. This is a major reversal. So you really need to be careful here with this. But, where would I look at it, just on a technical basis, not getting into everything, right around this 37,000, 38,000 level. That's it. Any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And if you could do me a favor and click the like button, because I'm trying to educate as many people as I possibly can on what it takes to be consistent and profitable as a trader. Thank you very much.